Hi, I'm Brian Redman, 61st year of racing, and thanks for watching Drivin Ivan.
Drivin Ivan here, and behind me, a legend really in the Porsche 911 world. It's a 993, the last generation of the air-cooled cars, and it's a Carrera 2. That means rear-wheel drive, and as you can see, it is an Outlaw, sort of a Restomod, and so I'm really looking forward to driving this 993 911. I think it looks great, and I'm anxious to see how it drives, especially with the upgrades that it has, which I will explain to you. So, will I be impressed? Let's find out. Well, right off the bat, although the 993 does look aggressive, this one is super, super aggressive. Yes, Outlaw. And that basically means that, well, it looks rebellious. It looks out of the ordinary. It's striking. You can see it has, baby's got new shoes. It has larger wheels. They are period correct, but certainly larger. And just walking around the car, that beautiful, familiar round headlight, 911 epic look that everybody loves. And then you had the fried egg version later with the 996. Now I have a 996 and I have an 82 Targa, so I have an air-cooled 911, but I have not driven the 993. I've driven pretty much every other series of 911 out there, so I'm really looking forward to this one. But just the way it looks, that's why I wanted to review this particular car. This one happens to belong to a friend of mine and was done at Intersport in the Northern Virginia area. Definitely Porsche specialists there. So yeah, I think it looks the part, and of course later we'll find out what the upgrades make it drive like. But just walking around the car, there's really no bad angle on this car. It's absolutely incredible. And wow, whew, love the way it looks. Classic 911 all the way, and that's why I really wanted to review this specific one. So let's see what it looks like on the inside. Familiar handle. A lot of the parts carry over, and the most important thing to me that carries over is this. You know, you've got the key on the left hand side for the Formula One start. White gauges, like my 911 SC has white gauges, so I love that. Love the custom steering wheel, seats. Everything looks very fresh. It smells fresh in here. Has that wonderful leather smell. And yeah, this thing was done up, and I think it had 115,000 miles on it when it was totally rebuilt and resto-modded like this for my friend. And wow, what a looker. And just a very smooth, very nice, tasteful upgrade to the 911 interior. Yes, it's the familiar things that make all of these 911s really just so cool. Everything is in the same places, even in my 911 SC, which is about 13 years older than this car. There weren't buttons located here on my 911 SC, though. You have the sunroof button, you have the wing button, which in this case doesn't function because there's a custom wing out back. Locks and hazards and things like that. The cooling ventilation system, which is better than the old one, certainly in this one. Very cool, classic looking radio here, but all the modern conveniences, which is great. All the familiar gauges, your gas gauge, your temperature gauge, all sorts of things about the Druck pressure oil, and also, of course, your huge tachometer right in front of you. Mine I have canted over so that red line's straight up in the air, but it's kind of a simple fix to do. Still shows 116.3 something, so it looks like he's put only about 1,000 miles since totally going over the car. And then there's the clock as well. Looks like it's functioning well. Not too much in the way of storage down here, but you do get that honest handbrake and the 6-speed manual transmission there. And on the doors, your window controls and your exterior window controls there. Little pocket for storage down there, and also in the door here. So yes, all the things that we've come to expect in our 911 interiors, plus a little bit more with this one, as it is an Outlaw Restomod. Very cool. If you've ever wondered what's in the trunk, the frunk of a 911, well, they're pretty much similar. And there you go. Storage up here, which is very nice. And of course you have storage behind the seats. And these actually lean down and create a shelf. So the 911 is actually a 4-seater, and you can fit a reasonable amount of luggage in there too. Very practical in many ways in terms of other sports cars out there. Pull here, of course, and that wing pops up to open up your engine bay. So there you go, the air-cooled 911 engine, 6-cylinder, 3.6 liters, 270 horsepower, 0 to 60 in about 4.7, top speed 167. But of course, this one's been modified, has about 60 extra horsepower. So there you have it. 17 miles per gallon in the city, 25 on the highway, but you don't really care about that, do you? Ah, of course you don't. Okay, so the first thing I noticed behind the wheel of this lovely 1995 Carrera 2 993 911 is just how similar it sounds and feels basically to my 911 SC, or even, I hate to say it, to my 996 Carrera 4 Cabriolet. That's the DNA. It's the rear engine. It's a 6-cylinder, air-cooled in this case, and man, they just all have the same beautiful noise. Oh, this one has a very quick flywheel. It's been lowered, springs have been done. Like I said, it's got about 60 extra horsepower. And so, and then the first thing I noticed right there about the Porsche when I drove it, the Porsche 911, the brakes. The brakes are amazing. The stopping power on the 911, it's like you hit a wall. So this one has all of the things that we've grown to love about the 911, everything. And it is one of the most pure driving experiences anywhere. And that's what makes these cars so amazing. That's what makes the values go up these days. That's why they're just so incredible to own. You know, the owner, like I said, he's a friend of mine, and he had a Ferrari 355 with the H-gate and everything. And I asked him, I knew why he sold it, but I asked him anyway to verify it. And yeah, it's the reliability. It's the fact that you could just get it and drive any Porsche 911. With a Ferrari, it's just not the same thing. The Porsche 911 is, you know, every bit as fast as the Ferraris in its day, but at the same time, they're just super reliable. Porsche engineers these to drive to the track, drive on the track, and then drive home from the track. And that's what it's all about. They always say to buy the newest 911 you can afford, and that's because, you know, the differences between this one and my 911 SC Targa are just comfort related. This is a more comfortable car. There's more adjustability in the seat. They hold you in a little better. These are like more like the sports seats than mine. And that new leather smell in here is amazing since it's been totally restored. Like I said, at Intersport, and they really do a great job with Porsches. They sell used Porsches there too, so check them out on the interwebs. I've done Cars and Coffees there too to show you what it's like. But the newer the 911, the more reliable and the more speed it has. So this is definitely quicker than mine, but you know, nowadays cars are much quicker, but still people long for these cars for good reason. New cars drive you. This car, the 911, does not drive you. This is a car that you drive. You have to know how to drive to keep it from spinning and things like that on the track. You have to keep it weighted correctly because that engine is way, way, way back behind the rear axle, and that's why everybody has loved these for decades, just like the 356. I have reviewed the 356, and I've also just toured the Porsche Factory Museum, so I hope you will check out those videos and smash the like button and subscribe if you already haven't. The upgrades that this car has, making it the Outlaw sort of Restomod, that's a fad that's just so popular these days. That's what makes it really, really stand out. To me, it just looks amazing. And, you know, the bigger wing, the lower stance, the exhaust, the improvements to the engine, well, it just makes really what is basically a perfect car even better. Now the shifter, the 915 and the G shifter that came before it basically are not as good. This one is very smooth. You can shift it quickly, and it has 6 speeds instead of 5 in reverse. So yeah, definitely this shifter feels a lot better than like my 915. That's a very robust, rugged shifter, but this one just feels more advanced, and with the faster flywheel revs, much faster than one without that improvement on the flywheel. So very, very cool. This car is just butter. It's so nice, and it looks incredible too. This is the other amazing thing about driving the 911. Just looking over those beautiful headlights on this beautiful fall day, driving this beautiful car. And it's just one of those cars that you know what you're driving just by looking out the windshield. And that is certainly a draw. And one of the major selling points of this car. Its timeless looks, along with the way it drives and everything else. And the history is just makes you want it even more. There's really nothing negative I can say about this particular 911, only maybe if I'm nitpicking that because of the flywheel at low RPMs, it gets a little cranky and wants to stall a little bit. But no complaints, except maybe the price. If you want one of these, well, the 993s are very desirable, so they start probably around 40,000, maybe a little less if you're looking at a terrible example. Of course, less for parts cars and things like that don't run, but for running cars, 35,000, 40,000 to start, and they can go all the way up to $250,000. This one is just everything you want it to be. So who knows? You know, things are worth what somebody else will pay for them. And this is a very nice example of a 993. The Restomods really do add to the overall experience. And it's a sunroof hardtop, although I prefer the convertibles. Like I say, I have a Targa and I have a Cabriolet, but you know, I definitely prefer these. So yeah, if you've had a Ferrari or another very fast car, like I have a Maserati Spider, you know, they're more problematic than Porsches. Porsches are engineered to perfection, and they are just so good. You never see one on the side of the road, do you? No, you really don't. You see a lot of other manufacturers' cars on the road, but you're not really going to see a Porsche on the side of the road very often. So, is this Porsche 911 993 Outlaw Restomod the best of the Porsche 911s? It is pretty darn nice, and I am impressed. Even though all 911s give you the same elements, and that's why we love them, even, dare I say, the water-cooled ones. Check out all my 996 reviews. But also a 71 Chrystal Blue 911, 911E, and pretty much the 912, and I have a lot of 911 reviews, but yeah, this one is very special, and I am absolutely impressed, not just with the looks and the Restomod features, but the whole package.
definitely impressed. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. I hope you've smashed the like button and subscribe. Search any car in Drivin Ivan. Check out my disc golf videos, my literal video for Chris Isaac's Wicked Game. Check out my Free Your Mind music video, which has a lot of my car collection in it. Also my musical instrument collection. If you want to know what I drive, check out What Does Drivin Ivan Drive? I have 2 videos actually. There's one, the music video is more updated. And again, search any car in Drivin Ivan on YouTube. Check out my Porsche Factory Museum tour, my Auto World Museum, the Mahi collection in there, amazing museum in Brussels, Belgium. I just traveled in Europe. I'm going to teach you how to import a car from Europe, license it, drive it over there. Check out my lap on the Nürburgring, definitely a bucket list item, as well as the truth about driving Lamborghini Countach. Or just watch my interview with Valentino Balboni from way back in the day at the Lamborghini Museum before it opened to the public. Again, thanks for watching. I'm Drivin Ivan.